Um, so one thing that I'm a teacher, as you all know. One thing that I've been following since last week is the collective teacher power, baby. Teacher power, baby. Teacher power. So I've been
Educator,
following
educator power.
EP, baby. EP, educator power. That ain't a
Yeah.
nice ring to it. But anyway, I've been following this Chicago public schools fee. I don't want to call it a fiasco because I think the mayor is the one if it's a fiasco. But I've been following this story even since last year, right? First of all, watching some of these Chicago teachers and union leaders talk, man, these are passionate people who can cut promos. They can talk. They can give speeches, man. I seen one lady up there, man. I don't know who it was, but it was some black lady. And man, I saw her get up on that podium and to the news, and she was just going off. She's saying, look, we should have the same type of testing and protocols in place as the Catholic schools in Chicago, the private schools in Chicago. And man, the way that she was saying it, it was so forceful. It was so articulate. I was blown away. My socks were off. I was like, hell yeah. I was cheering her on from my TV like I was watching a football game or something. I was like, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I was raising my fist in the air, like somebody scored a touchdown or something, or somebody scored a knockout. Woo. So I've been following that, man, because those Chicago teachers, they are on point. They are lit up. They are the bomb diggity, to use a lot of weird slang that's been outdated now. But man, so I've been following that, and I've also been following the backlash, the comments against them. Like I watched this one YouTube video on The Hill, The Hill, which is the YouTube channel. I think The Hill's a news media. Anyway, so I like watching their videos from time to time, them talking about it. And they mentioned this story, and I was reading through the comments of the YouTube, and I got fired up. I said, oh, hell nah, these motherfuckers, man. And so I was inspired last week. I believe it was, I was inspired last week to write something on it. So I'll post a link.
Yeah, please do.
I posted it on Twitter. I'll post it when I make the YouTube video. But anyway, I posted some on Medium responding to 3 of these comments here. And I guess just for the sake of the audience, let's break down some of these comments, if you will. So let me pull this up here. I have to go to my Medium page because I wrote this straight to Medium. I didn't write it first in Word and then copy it to there.
It's all good. Take your time. So while you pull that up, I do have a CNN article about it from like an hour ago.
Oh yeah, what's the latest news?
So no decision yet on Tuesday classes as the Chicago School District and teachers debate COVID-19 safety measures. So let's see here.
Well, let me provide some background too for this.
Please do.
So in my school district right now, where I teach for the largest school district, and if you know what that is, you know.
Yeah.
So hold on, let me plug in my battery to my laptop real quick here. So lead the people while I mute.
All right. So I'm going to read just a little bit from this article here while he does that. So more than 340,000 students missed a 4th day of classes Monday as the Chicago Teachers Union and Chicago Public Schools remain deadlocked on how to handle the COVID-19 surge. As of Monday evening, negotiations were still underway, and school system officials tweeted that there was no decision yet on in-person learning on Tuesday. We remain in negotiations. We will provide an update as soon as possible, the CPS tweet said. Chicago.
I'm back.
Oh, you back? All right. So did you hear what I just said?
Nah, I had to.
So basically, yeah, they are still deadlocked, the teachers union and the public school district.
Yeah.
The public school district made a tweet saying that we remain in negotiations and that they will provide an update as soon as possible.
All right. Well, so I'm not going to be ignorant and talk about the struggles of Chicago public schools. I'm just going to talk about the struggles of my school district, which is, it's still a school district in a major metropolitan area. It's the largest in the state of Ohio. So let me tell you about some of the struggles that my district is going through. So last week, which was, hold on, for the benefit of the audience here, last week, which was Monday, January 3rd to Friday, January 7th, 2022. That's what I mean when I say last week. So during that week, my school district had to cancel not cancel classes. That was on Friday. But anyway, my school district, they had to have certain schools in the district go remote because of, they claim, lack of staff or staff shortages or transportation shortages. So Monday, that Tuesday, that Wednesday, and that Thursday, several schools and several different schools went remote, which meant that the students didn't go in the building, but the teachers were the teachers still had to go into the buildings and still had to conduct classes virtually. So the teachers weren't off. Don't think we teachers are off if a school goes remote. That's a myth.
Yeah.
So Friday, January 7th, my school district went completely canceled all classes because they claimed transportation issues. Well, guess what? If classes weren't canceled, 24 schools would have been remote that day, which is 25% of the total schools in the district. So, well, it's about 21 to 25%.
Yeah.
So this is what public schools all across, and when I say public schools, I mean like major metropolitan public schools all across this country are going through. And why are there people that are out? Well, people are sick. And I talk to my colleagues, my fellow teachers, and they tell me all the time, they're like, yeah, some classes I have like 50% show up or 30%. I have 12 out of 24 students absent because of COVID protocols, because of being sick.
Jesus.
Because we just came back from the holiday break. Now, I teach virtually. So regardless of whether schools are remote or whether schools are in person, I teach virtually because I'm part of a program in my school district.
Right.
And so that's why I've been following this, because this Chicago teacher union, I call it a strike, actually. I like it. But anyway, it's not really a strike because the teachers are still want to work. It's just they want to work remotely.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a strike because they're not saying we don't want to work. Because I'm sure there's still proof in point. There's this article. Let me show it to you. This shows the pettiness of the Chicago not teachers, but Chicago, the school administration, and the mayor of Chicago. This shows the pettiness. I just sent you this article. So this article is from last Wednesday by Dale Cameron from Gizmodo.com. It says, Chicago teachers locked out of digital classrooms amid Omicron surge. So, city officials of Chicago, guess what they did? So, they locked out teachers from their digital classrooms, like their Google Classrooms. Yeah. So, and they even locked teachers who teach virtually, exclusively virtually. They locked those teachers out. So that means that teachers weren't able to provide assignments or even like learning videos or communication with their students through like their Google Classrooms or something.
Wow.
So the city of Chicago is being so petty. This Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, she's being like so petty to these teachers. And that's why I'm glad these teachers have this power, because when it comes to schools, Trust the teachers. Trust the people who are on the ground. You know, we teachers are the soldiers of education. We're on the ground. We're in the classrooms. We're on, you know, the quote-unquote battlefield of education. You know, that's why I hate higher-ups, you know. It's like Jimmy McNulty said in The Wire. Fuck the bosses. Fuck them. Fuck the higher-ups. We're on the ground. We're the ones doing the work. We're the ones in the classrooms taking the licks, taking the L's, so to speak. And we're also the ones building the relationship with the students and facilitating learning. And so that's why I'm following this, man, because this is so political. Who knew education could be this political, man?
Yeah, like, I mean, the fucking, like, it just fucking baffles my mind, you know, because it just makes me think about, like, wow, this kind of resembles and parallels a lot of other industries, you know, that a lot of local and state governments try to, like, strong arm workers to go back into like these conditions. And
that's the thing, yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, these people don't give a shit. Oh, like, fucking people like your safety. You're just another employee. These are, like, ultimately, these are administrators. And I work in education too, by the way. I'm not a teacher or an educator. I'm not going to tell what I actually do for a living. But yeah, we deal with administrative bullshit too. And it's from people who are completely disconnected and disassociated from the work that we do, whether it's staff like me or faculty like Martin.
Yeah, and check this out too. I'm going to read 3 paragraphs from this article. Not really paragraphs because there's just like a sentence or two. So, Chicago Teacher Union President Jesse Sharkey told reporters on Wednesday that the virus was raging through the city and that city officials had failed to deliver on basic demands for adequate staffing, another huge issue, by the way, and COVID-19 testing to address the health threat. Listen to this next quote. Oh, this pisses me off. In a letter to parents, Pedro Martinez, CEO of Chicago Public Schools, already there's a problem. CEO of Chicago Public Schools framed the decision by teachers as a refusal to report to work. Quote, "We want our children back in the classrooms as soon as possible," he said, "and we will continue working with the CTU to reach an agreement that addresses their concerns and that is in the best interest of all in our CPS community, especially our children," unquote. Some 340,000 students missed school on Wednesday, unable to attend classes in person or remotely by computer. Numerous Chicago teachers tweeted that they'd been locked out of Google Classroom, the platform used by the city to conduct remote learning. Whew. So, first of all, why the hell are you calling the leader, why are you calling the superintendent of Chicago Public Schools a CEO? Like, that's disturbing, because when you call them a CEO, you're trying to say basically this is a business, this is a private company. Why the fuck are you calling them a CEO?
You're essentially bringing the fucking structure and logic of private enterprise into what should be and what is like a matter of like public education. You know, it's not fucking Walmart, you know.
Exactly.
Why is
and like
these are not customers. These are fucking like citizens. They are taxpayers.
Yeah. And that's why unions are so important, especially in the education field, because those forces who want to call superintendents CEOs, hi CEO, those forces want to privatize education. They want to pay teachers much, much less. They want to give teachers less benefits. I want to go off and call them every name in the book, but I want to be clean as well. These idiots who want to privatize education, they're powerful. That's why we need these type of unions like the Chicago Teachers Union, who are just as powerful. so you can have that balance, and so that the teachers will not get less pay, less benefits, more unhealthy work conditions. Ridiculous. And in my article, man, that I wrote on Medium, I talk about some of the struggles of teachers. I talk about some of we should get hazard pay. I mean, I talked about in the article about how a teacher at my high school, right? A teacher at my high school literally broke her back trying to break up a fight, or was in the middle of a fight between two girls, and it literally broke her back. And that's the kind of stuff that's, that's not an isolated incident. Yeah. I got punched twice in my 8-year career.
Oof.
Like people who don't know anything about teaching, STF you.
Hell, I'll say it for you. Shut the fuck up.
Yes.
It's like,
listen to the teachers. Listen to the soldiers on the ground. Not these stupid CEOs. Take your doctorate degree and shove it up your fucking ass, Pedro Martinez, and any other superintendent of a public education school system who wants to call themselves a CEO. Shove it up your asshole, and then it comes out of your mouth.
And not only that, too, but also look at the elected officials who have clearly made, their side known, where they stand. Like with Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Obviously, it's kind of clear where she's standing on this issue here. With that lockout, the reason why those students did not have to miss out on those days of teaching. They didn't have to.
Yeah.
But because the fucking city of Chicago, or at least, Lori Lightfoot's administration decided that, you know what, fuck them. Make them go back to work. Strong arm them until they don't have a choice in the matter. This is someone who's deliberately trying to take choice away from educators.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, too, like you said, go back to work. It's like we're already at work, even if we're remote. We're still making lesson plans. We're still making materials and assignments for students. I mean, my stuff is a work of art. How much time and effort I put into mine, and I teach virtually, and I'm teaching. I'm in the meetings. I'm discussing with students. We're going over some answers. Like I'll give you a great example, man. And we're both learning together. And I'll give you a great example of a class I had last 2 weeks ago? Yeah. One of my class periods, right? We did a current event of an article to finish up our study of Afghanistan. And we did a current event about the current economic woes of Afghanistan. And it was an article about desperate parents selling their children for marriage to these perverts.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that.
Yeah. And so, we're reading this article and we're analyzing it, breaking it down. And man, we're having such a good discussion. We're talking about religion, and we're talking about fundamentalist religion. I mean, we're having such a great discussion. We're learning, and we're learning together. And you can learn in a virtual environment. Like people say you can't. That's ridiculous. But I don't know but I will add this though. I don't know what it's like for elementary and middle school teachers and elementary and middle school students. I don't know. So I will not say anything about that. But I just know that I love teaching. I'd rather, if they told me, hey, your program has ended this year, you're going to have to go back in the physical classroom if you want a job. Well, I guess my full-time job will be Walmart.
Jesus.
Because the stuff I've been hearing about the behavior of students in the physical classroom this year has been horrific. And, I got my own stuff, too, my own traumas from my 7 years in the physical classroom.
Yeah, you have shared with me quite a bit of those.
I don't even know if it's 7 or 8 years. I stopped counting, man.
And the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Yeah.
Just to give y'all a little glimpse about the article, which I'm gonna post in the, you can look for it in, I guess, our Twitter and the YouTube. Just some ignorant comments, but I say ignorant. I When I say ignorant, I don't mean stupid, because this person makes a good point about childcare. Um, So some of these comments that I've been seeing are about, well, what about the kid? What about people who work and have kids? Like, where are they supposed to take their kids? And to that, I'd say, you know what? That's a great question. Why, why is childcare so expensive in this country? Why do we think of childcare as, take them to school? Why do we think of teachers as babysitters and not educators? Think about that.
Hmm.
Why do we think of teachers as babysitters and not educators? Whew. Yeah, that pisses me off when people think all we do is babysit. No.
Like,
Like, I'm making a lesson plan so students can learn, not so I can just babysit.
yeah, just because you fucking wasted your time in school doesn't mean, when you were a kid, doesn't mean, the teachers aren't doing the best at their fucking job. Shit. There was something that you pointed out too in your article that really comes to mind, and that's if students, and I know this isn't like, this might be different for middle school and definitely elementary school, but one thing that you pointed out is that if teacher or students want to learn, they'll learn, whether it's physical in person or if it's online and remote.
Yeah, most of the stuff you're going to learn is not going to be in a school. It's going to be what you learn outside of it. And
Right.
that's the job of that's one of the jobs of a teacher, is to instill lifelong learning in their students.
Yeah.
A love of it, or at least like, hey, this is how you can research if you want to research about these issues, stuff like that.
Whew. Well,
Yeah,
hot
and
damn.
so yeah, I even gave up time writing. I even gave up time planning a lesson, but I just felt that, my ass got chapped. You know what I'm saying? My ass got severely chapped, and I'm like, you know what? Yo, I'm killing this noise. Like Public Enemy said, shut them down, shut them down. F that, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I support these Chicago school teachers. Let's do it, man.